morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys. This is Coke Boy, and welcome back to the Good Living Podcast. Today, before I even talk about today, I saw the comment from the last episode, and I have to say, I really learned a lot. Like, I saw a lot of insightful, smart, clever comments that opened my eye up to things that I didn't see before. Lots of them. If you've not seen last episode, you should go check that out. Link they should have suggested a video for you down there somewhere. So this episode, how things spiral down is simply how things go bad progressively within a very short period of time. You know how one issue can just turn into a whole big issue within a short period of time if it's not managed properly. And so a lot of us fall into stuff like that, situations like that. And I've thought about methods and ways and points we can use to avoid these kinds of problems, you know. So I'm just going to outline them. The first one is problems are not as bad as they look. I know whatever the problem is, as you're seeing it, and everybody has problems. All of us have been in problems and solved them before, but they are just not as bad as they look. I'll give an example. When I have an issue, especially a big issue, because we have day-to-day problems here, but especially a big issue, I always tell myself that, let's say this is 2024, we're in January. I'll tell myself by May I won't have this issue. Like, I don't care what happens, but if I live my life on autopilot, by May this issue would have been long gone. For example, is my rent. Say my rent is expiring in May. I know that if I don't pay before May, then I might have to vacate the premises. Or if I pay, then I still live in the house. So I'll tell myself by December this year, this rent that I'm worried about won't be an issue anymore. Because it's either I would have paid and continued living, or I would have not paid and then I'll be in a new place, in another place, whether it's my house or not. And you can use that approach you get, because problems are not really just not as bad as it thinks. And when you think a problem is very bad, it would force you to do certain things that you're not supposed to do, certain things that can now escalate to insane levels, certain things that can spiral down to some wild bullshit that you never thought you would be in. And the next one, there's always somebody whose issue is as bad as yours. And at the same time, your issue could also get worse. I will use this one as I'll use this example. I used to gamble a lot before, and you'd always have a problem. If you're a gambler, you know this. If you have a problem, you think, you know what? I have these two problems, but I have these resources. Maybe I can stake these resources and then solve my two problems. You know. And what this point is saying is that you can actually solve your problem and wait for more money or more resources to solve the second problem. Problems can wait. I told you, they're not as bad as you think they are. A lot of your problems can wait to be solved, especially the financial ones. So you could end up losing. So that gets me to the next sub point, which is your situation could get worse than it actually is. So with the gambling one, when I'll use an example of when I ate my school fees in uni. So I had like 40 something K to pay for the school fees. I had eaten like 10 grand inside. Now, I could ask for 10 grand. I could have borrowed money, done something to be able to make it back up. But I didn't want to do all that. I felt that, but gambling is free money. So I can gamble the remaining and try and use it to make up this one. So slowly, slowly, slowly. I thought I was in big mess when my school fees were shorting 10K. Well, if they would have told me that I would be shorting my entire school fees that semester, I wouldn't believe it. So whatever your situation is, it can be worse than it is if you make the wrong decisions in terms of trying to solve it. So try to make the right decisions if you're trying to solve any problem. So that one, my school fees entirely went. And let me even bust your head. You might think that that one is bad, but it could still go worse than that. You might get the money back. Oh, there's even another one. There's a guy who lost his school fees. This is in uni too. This guy is not me. But there's a guy who lost his school fees to gambling. Like his friends knew he bet his school fees away. And as beautiful friends with their kind hearts, they contributed money for him. They were asking people, please, exams are coming. This our guy has not paid the school fees. So they contributed his school fees for him completely and gave him. You called it. He gambled it again. He finished it. Yeah, bet all that one again. So it's crazy. You could get way worse than whatever you're thinking. I could go on and on with this stuff. You get. So that's that. There's always someone as bad as you, and your situation could also get worse if you manage it the wrong way. And solutions as well. They are closer than you think. You know, solutions are closer than you think. A lot of people think their problems are so big, and it will take so much to solve them, and you don't know that the real answer is like close to you. I wish I had a story for this, but I think this one is self-explanatory. You get the idea that if you look closely to the people around you, like for example, people seek happiness. You know, a man might be stressed about work and just be wondering, be depressed and all of that. It might take only one weekend for him to sit down at home with his family, for him to now just look at his children running around happy, there's food in his kitchen, his wife is happy with him, and just reason actually the happiness I'm chasing for at work, the more money I'm chasing for, I actually have enough. And if I have enough, I can afford more time to spend with this beautiful family. I will feel more fulfilled if I do that. And that has solved the problem that seemed to be far away. He thought he needed the next promotion for him to be happy, or he need the next big contract for you to be happy. But if you look closely around you, you might find things that would also satisfy you and give you those feelings of satisfaction and contentment that you're looking for. An achievement, actually, if you look around you, it could be in different ways. You know, I saw a story about how things can spiral. Yeah, it's a series I'm watching. Carol and the End of the World is on Netflix. So there's a guy. He has to deliver coffee to an office building. That's his job, and he has to deliver that coffee by 8 a.m. every day. So he wakes up on this particular day. His regular routine: goes to the coffee shop, orders like 20 different cups of coffee, takes them, puts it in his car, straps the seatbelt in, and starts driving. He kept checking the time because he was nervous. He didn't want to be late. So he was driving, and then he kept checking his time. And then one of the times he just looked at his watch. Before he could take his face off the watch, he had an accident. There was a collision. Everywhere went dark. He woke up, saw that his coffee was spilled. He had a broken arm, nose was bleeding. And then he just ran away from the scene. People were gathering already at the scene, but he just ran away from the scene. Now, I don't know how you're picturing it in your head, but this is a cartoon, so yeah. And then he ran away from the scene, and it was just all it was on his mind was coffee, coffee. So he just woke up. He ran, sorry, into a smaller coffee store, bought the same 20 or 24 coffee cups, and then stole a car, right? It's very fast sports car, and then put the coffee in there and started speeding with his one hand. And he was like, he had a concussion, so he was dozing off and stuff. And so he was driving, and then he just dozed off, and then drove off a cliff. Now, this guy didn't die, which should have been better for me, honestly, watching this. He didn't die. He drove off the cliff and then woke up mid-air and tried to land the car properly, yeah? And somehow he was still on course to the office. So he got to the office and crashed the car before even getting to the office, but still came out with his coffee, limped all the way up to the sixth floor or whatever. And then when he entered the office building, it was empty. It was even dark. It's like nobody even bothered to like open the blinds that day. And then he dropped the coffee and said, "Oh shit, it's Saturday." So all that stress, and if he had just taking time to think about the day, for example, or not rush so much, he would have heard something that would have told him, oh, today is Saturday. He would have noticed something, but he was just in a hurry. That's something else. Don't be in a hurry to solve problems. I think that's where we make bad decisions from. Whenever you want something quick and easy, bad decisions come as a result of that more often than not. Bad decisions like, so you see everybody, a lot of people selling skincare products, you know, this one to be glow, this one to be white, this one to pop your skin and stuff like that. And it is because you want quick and easy results. It's not a secret that dietary change in habits, behaviors, and stuff like that can adjust your skin, can make your skin look better. You get exercise, stuff like that, eating healthy, they can make your skin look better. But it's a long term thing. I know nobody likes a long term thing. Everybody wants something that will give it quick and easy. It's a magic word or magic phrase, quick and easy. So when people are offered quick and easy solutions, they mostly take it. And that's an example of hurried decisions. And hurried decisions will lead you to, problem most of the time. Finally, it is easy to avoid problems. And as as easily as I said it, I understand that some wahala will still come and meet you. You can sit on your own and wahala will come and meet you. It's a irregular occurrence. But honestly, there are issues or there are problems that you might get into that you would have seen a mile away and you would have avoided. For example, violent issues. Mostly, if you see two men arguing, if it doesn't stop, if it keeps escalating, it doesn't take long to reach physical violence. I mean, so if you see two people arguing, most times everybody wants to de-escalate it because they know that it could get more heated and that it could get violent. And you might find yourself you know, in the situation of an argument with somebody and you don't want to back down because you don't want to feel weak or look weak. But if you know of the amount of people that have died over flippant stuff, over unimportant, benign shit, there was a time I used to always hear news. Okada man stabs customer over 50 naira. We hear these things almost every day. There's always somebody dying. Oh, recently, not too long ago, where somebody was stabbed, a girl was stabbed by her friend. Was it in her hand or where herself? And she just bled to death. Like, now over what? What is the thing that was so big that would have been worth how do I say it? Somebody's life, you know? So it's just crazy. So if we learn to de-escalate issues, you will see that it's easy to avoid a lot of problems, especially violent ones that can lead to death. But you can use this formula anywhere else in life. Just uh try to look out for what to be a potential problem and then just dodge, just shift to the side a little bit, stay away from it, you know. But let me know in the comments if you have any other points that can help you or that can help people, because I really would like to know some of these things myself personally, because I've made hurried decisions that have not worked out for me over the course of my life, and I think a lot of people have too. And this is going to be public knowledge if it's in the comments. So remember to like the video if you like it, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and then leave your comments and share, of course. But I can sit here all day and say nonsense to you, like, don't do this, do this, don't do this, do this. Your life will be good. We know that there are reasons why we rush into decisions. There are reasons why we make those hurry decisions and then wrong decisions. Fear, anxiety, and fear. Those things. And if we can overcome that, then we'll have a clearer head. Because what anxiety does to your brain is it just jumbles things up, confuses you, scares you. And when you're like that, you want to solve the problem as quickly as possible. And that's how you run into problems. So some people have this talent where they're always calm in every situation. They know how to just hold their own in every situation. But I'm going to tell a story before I tell you the ways that we can do that. I used to have an Android phone one time. In fact, my first ever Android phone. My dad bought for me. It was this MTN. There was a time MTN was selling one Android phone there. I think the phone was this 6K? No, it was 8K. And then the big one was 10K. So there were two MTN phones that time, MTN Android phones. My dad bought me that phone. That was my first Android phone. I loved it. Phone was great. Then with Android phones, once the calibrator cracks, your soft touch is ruined. And that happened with me. And I used to have anger issues, like I said. So things used to annoy me. I mean, anger issues is not the one that I will be. There's the one that where you're quick to anger, and I believe I have that. But this one is where I like to smash things. So if I get angry, I want to take it out on something physically. You know. So I had smashed a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff I had smashed, remotes and stuff like that. And this phone was so annoying to one point, after it had fallen down from my hand a few times, because I can be very clumsy sometimes. And after it fell from my hand a few times, it was completely difficult to use. It was extremely hard to type stuff. I'll be typing it to go and type another thing for me. You touch WhatsApp, Facebook will open. It's just so annoying. So I used to just be typing and say, try me, just test me this fucking. It will test me, and I'll just fling it across the room. And glory be to God, that house had rugs, not tiles, because I would have messed up that phone. There were scars on the phone. There were scars. My producer just gave me, yeah, some hints, some tips for you people. There are some scars on the phone that I know that I inflicted on that phone as a result of my anger. So it just got worse. I just kept getting angry at it for getting worse. And I'd smash things. But I'm digressing. So in order to avoid that, there's some things I actually started doing. Sometimes if I get angry, I would smile and then be genuinely amused by the situation, and then it will just calm me down. So some things you can do, you can take a deep breath. Yeah, it can be helpful to ask yourself questions to readjust your thinking. Now, I don't know if you've seen Desmond on my channel before, but he wrote this stuff. I can't take any credit for it. I think I'll tag you, Seth. Or when Desmond comments, I'll pin it. So the first thing he wrote here is take a deep breath, and there's a small explanation. It can be helpful to ask yourself questions to readjust your thinking. You may ask yourself if your thoughts are rational or if things could be worse. Try to assess your ideas and identify ways to handle the situation. The This could be, for example, what I do is I would laugh and then be like, okay, so I would have just thrown this cup away now, this cup, and then I'll just drop it. At least I don't have any mess to clean up. Why would I even want to throw the cup away? What did the cup do? It's my phone that is making me mad. And if I smash my phone, the other people that are not making me mad, how do I chat with them? So if you just give yourself a second, your body would de-escalate it for you because it knows what's good for you. Second one is face your feelings. There's no way I would have been able to explain this one without reading this stuff. Feeling some amount of anxiousness can be a normal human response. It can be okay to admit to yourself what you're feeling and accept what is happening inside you. I don't like the way this thing sounds. As you recognize and acknowledge them, the anxious feelings may decrease in intensity. Yeah, for you to be more aware, like try to be more aware of how you're feeling. Own it. I'm angry right now. I'm upset right now. Like recognize that you're upset right now, and it might help you reduce your feeling of anxiousness, or you can understand that I'm anxious right now. I've been very anxious before to the point that I felt like I was going to have a panic attack, and at least I knew how I was feeling, and I knew that this was anxiousness. I knew this was anxiety, kind of, and I had to Google how to like de-escalate this stuff. And I saw like take a deep breath, do this and that, breathe next, and I just forgot. Like that feeling just went off. The problem didn't exactly go, but the feeling went off, and you can help yourself like that. And then three, challenge your feelings. Okay, this is a bit contradictory to the other things you've been saying. Face your feelings and nature. Okay. It can be helpful to ask yourself questions to readjust your thinking. You may ask yourself if your thoughts are rational or if things could be worse. Try to assess your ideas and identify this. Okay, this is the same explanation. We take a deep breath. This is what you need to do. Like I said, with the phone excuse and with the phone example and the glass example. And then stay busy. It can be helpful to ask questions of yourself to adjust your thinking. Okay, it's the same thing. It's the same thing you wrote everywhere. All right. On staying busy, you may look for something else that will take your mind off that problem or off that issue or off whatever it is that's triggering that emotion, and do that, and that feeling will go, that emotion will go. I don't know if this is an advised strategy long term, because sometimes these things might be things you have to deal with and squash. If not, they will come up later, especially if it's an issue with somebody else. You cannot just have an issue with your wife and then just block it out. But that's, that resentment is going to be the back of your mind somewhere, and to be coming out in the subtle little things that you do. So yeah, that's that. That has been the episode for today. Please remember to like and subscribe. Check out our other content. There's more stuff for you. Whatever you like to see on the channel, I'm open to hear. Follow us on our social media handles. Everything's on your screen right now. And I'll catch you in the next episode. See you later.